Hey everyone, this is Elise here with another devotion, and today I want to read from Matthew 26 verses 6 through 16. Verse 6 says, "Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, 'To what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor.' When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her." Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests, and said unto them, What will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time he saw opportunity to betray him. So here in this passage, Jesus and his disciples are at Simon the leper's house for dinner. And this is when Mary comes with her alabaster box of spikenard and poured it on Jesus as he was eating. And the disciples were all shocked and frustrated that she didn't sell it and give it to the poor. When you look into it, it was worth 300 pence, and that is about a year's wages in their currency in that time period. It would have been about a year's wages. And in Mark 14, which is one of the parallel passages of this, Jesus said that she did what she could. So that shows that this was not a skimpy or a selfish gift. She gave everything she had. She gave what she could, the absolute best that she could. And, we see that Mary was not self-serving, but that she came to Jesus to worship and honor him with her precious oil. And right after this scene, in direct contrast to Mary, Judas leaves and goes to find the chief priests. And instead of giving what he has to Jesus, he sees what he could get for betraying him. He sells Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, which when you study that out, in that time was the price for a common slave. Just a common slave. And we see that Judas did not truly love Christ, but instead loved self and wealth. And we see some contrasting points about Mary and Judas in this that I found pretty profound and convicting, enlightening, something to think about, when I read this passage. And so we see that Mary came to Jesus to worship him and give her all. She went and sought Jesus out. She went and found him. But Judas, he left Jesus to see what he could gain by betraying him. So he wasn't seeking after Jesus. He said, Jesus, you might be over here, but I'm going to leave. I'm going to go my own way and see what benefits me the most. Mary loved Jesus and was focused on him. We see that because she sought him out, but she gave a pricey gift, a year's wages. That's incredible. That is an incredible gift. That's a huge amount. Imagine how much you make in a year and just laying that all at Jesus's feet, right there, not caring what anybody else thought, not thinking about, oh, well, I need this money for this. She just gave it. And she truly loved him and came to worship him and was focused on him. But Judas loved himself. He was focused on personal gain. He didn't offer anything to the Messiah. He didn't offer anything to Jesus, but he saw what he could get from betraying him. And Mary thought and believed that Jesus deserved her all and that he was worth everything. We can see that because Jesus himself said that she did what she could. She gave her very best. And Judas only thought he was worth the same amount as a common slave. That's such a huge contrast, such a huge thing to look at, such a big difference. One thought he was worth everything, and the other thought he was worth no more than a common slave. Basically worthless. So the question I want to pose to you today is, what would you trade Jesus for? Are you like Judas or Mary? Am I like Judas or Mary? I hope I'm like Mary. I would never want to be like Judas. I don't want to trade Jesus for anything. But because he's worth too much. He's worth too much to sell and to trade for anything. There is nothing outside of Jesus. In him we live and move and have our being. But do we live like that? Do we live like he's worth our all? Do we live like he deserves everything we have? Do we live in pursuit of him? Or do we seek our own personal gain in what's convenient and what can benefit us? Seeing him as worth no more than any other thing in our life, worth no more than any other insignificant thing that we could get rid of. So that's my challenge to you today, is to put your focus on God and to really live like he is worth your everything, and to make him your everything, and to give him your everything. God bless.